Hey squad, Miss Jones here. Yes, I sound like I may die, but I'm not. I'm not gonna die. I'll be just fine. I just have a little bit of strep throat. Just a little. Real awkward time to have strep throat because people think I have crota, but no, just strep. So, Hamlet. Unfortunately, our group projects, which I was very excited about, have now turned into an MLA paper. So let's talk about that. First things first, this paper is going to need to be between 1,500 to 2,500 words. It's not a lot of words. You guys are used to that. Topics, they could include discussions on dominant symbols, themes, character motivation, autobiographical information, which is shared with particular text and conflict. A good example of this would be Hamlet and Shakespeare's son Hamnet. How that worked. You must use 4 scholarly sources other than your text, which means you will have a total of 5 sources. Your format will be Microsoft Word, 12-point font in proper MLA format. Your title. Give me a cool title. You know how I feel about a title? I don't want a crap title. I want a good title. Claim and support. Make sure you have a clear thesis and organize your data accordingly. Also, your sources must be scholarly. You know how Miss Jones feels about a non-scholarly source. I feel bad about a non-scholarly source. So, all scholarly. Also, with your diction, you must use standard American English, which means no contractions, unless from a direct quote. Or, you. Don't use you. You know how I feel about you. It's bad. So, what exactly is a literary criticism? On the most fundamental of levels, literary criticism attempts to make an argument about how a text works based on a close reading. We have done a very close reading of Hamlet. We have gone line by line, so you guys should know Hamlet real hard. Therefore, your criticism will add a theoretical component to the close reading by doing research. So, oftentimes as we're reading, I've made claims about what's going on, what is happening. This is foreshadowing. This symbol stands for this. So that's what I want you guys to do. Think about Hamlet. Find something that you want to talk about that's interesting and not boring. Now, for this MLA paper, there are different types of literary analysis criticism that you can do. So I kind of think of your MLA paper as a highway, and these are the exits that you can take off that highway. One, you could do a sociological criticism. This is where you examine literature in its cultural, economic, and political context. So think about the time period in which Shakespeare wrote the play. For example, when he talks about the children who are taking over the drama business. That was a rough time for Shakespeare. Shakespeare didn't care for that. Shakespeare needed those kids to get off stage so he could get some coin. That would be a sociological criticism. Second, you could do a reader response criticism. This describes what happens in the reader's mind while interpreting a text. So, think about your own religious, cultural, or social values and how those affect the reading of the text. Maybe you got a little upset in the gravedigger scene about suicide and all that. Perhaps that bothered you. Well, do a reader response criticism about it. Third, you have your gender feminist criticism, where you can examine how sexual identity influences the creation and reception of literary works. Explore how an author's gender might consciously or unconsciously affect his or her text. I think perhaps for the gender feminist criticism, you could talk about why Ophelia let Polonius and Laertes be the boss of her all the time. And she didn't stand up and go, I do what I want. I will love Hamlet if I want. But she didn't. Also, Gertrude, why she married Claudius and why she really wasn't in any type of position to say, no, I don't want you, Claudius. Get to stepping. I'm going to live in this little widow's house down by the road where nobody can see me for years and years until I die. Maybe you want to write that paper. I don't know. Number 4, biographical criticism. Explore how understanding an author's life can help readers more thoroughly comprehend the literary work. So think about Shakespeare. Is there anything about his life that you believe shone brightly in Hamlet? Something that affected his storyline, his plot, his characters? Number 5, you could do a psychoanalytic criticism. You could think about themes, conflicts, and characterizations of a particular part of the work and think about how that affected your character. Perhaps you could diagnose Ophelia with depression. Yeah, that's a good one. She was pretty freaking depressed. Or maybe Hamlet. Maybe you could say he was bipolar, which he totes was. So you could do that. Or I don't know, Claudius. He was definitely an egomaniac. So yeah, you could do that. Diagnose somebody. Regardless of which one of these exits that you take, review the text. Read closely. Think about a particular part that you want to use as an illustration or an example. Take notes. Read with a highlighter and a pencil if you have a book. If you don't, remember that there is a link to one online in your Shakespeare lesson plan. Reread as you need to make your arguments stick. Step 2, you're going to need to process your ideas. Think about what exactly you want to write about. Are you going to write about a particular character and a conflict that's going on, whether it be internally or if it's a physical conflict? Consider the point of view. Think about the setting. Think about key symbols. For example, Ophelia's flowers and why she chose those particular ones. Or Yorick, the skull. That's a great symbol as well. So yeah, any of those will work. Step 3, you're going to plan your essay. You're going to need to leave yourself plenty of time, which it seems that's all we have lately. So leave yourself some time. Choose a subject you care about. Find a topic that you find interesting, because if you find it interesting, then I'm probably going to find it interesting, and that's really what I want here. I wish to be amused by these papers. Also, know your purpose. Make sure that you understand the subject that you choose, the topic that you choose. And then also define your topic narrowly. A paper will be stronger if you go more deeply into it rather than surface, kind of touch on a lot of things instead of one in-depth thing. And then last but not least, with your sources, make sure that you engage with them. You can agree, you can disagree, but make sure that when you find these sources that they're giving you more information about the topic than you previously had. Things that make you think, things that make you go, that's very interesting. So those are the kind of sources that I want you guys to find. Here's a link to MLA. Some things have changed since the last time you've written an MLA paper. So make sure that you're going to follow that. Also, in your lesson for the Hamlet plan, I gave you several links to videos to help you remember how to navigate Galileo. And also you have a link to Purdue Owl in there as well to help you. This paper will be due when we return to school, since we can't do any type of graded assignment online this week as of this very moment. I don't know if things will change. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen in this time of chaos? I don't know at all. I just want my voice back. That'd be rad. But until then, write your papers, read your Dorian Gray. It's good. It's a really good book. It has some moments where you're like, oh, this book sucks, but just stick with it. You'll enjoy it. And so yeah, write me a paper. I love you guys. I miss you guys. But I'll see you soon. Okay, bye.